Hi, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome in. This video is going to be all about creating your content for your spiritual business. And in this video, we're going to go over some of the basic fundamental things that you need to get started with before even starting with your content creation. So you might already be creating content and you might not be taking these things into consideration. And so this will be a really good way to redo your foundation for your content, for your business. Maybe you haven't posted any content yet for your business. Let me know in the comments, like, what is your experience with content? Have you posted any content yet? What are your primary places where you like to post content? Hi, Maida. Hi, Julia. Hi, Vanessa. Welcome in, guys. Hello, hello. By the way, if you want me to be able to see your name, all you have to do is click the link above this video on Facebook, and you can share your permissions with StreamYard, and it'll show your face and your name. Alrighty, so before we get started, let's wait just a couple minutes for people to pop in. I did want to remind everybody that we are doing an 11/11 flash opening of the Tarot Practice Academy tomorrow morning at 11:11 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, if you guys have any questions about the Tarot Practice Academy, there is a Q&A section here at the end of this video. Feel free to ask those questions and I can answer them. But I wanted to let you guys know that I am doing a bonus for the first 5 people who enroll tomorrow. So at 11:11 a.m., I will open the doors, and the first 5 people who enroll will get a spiritual business audit. So this is a 40-minute session with me where we're going to go over your spiritual business, and I will let you know the very next steps you need to work on for your business. Hi, Catherine. Welcome in, everybody. And so that's it. I just wanted to let you guys know. By the way, the Tarot Practice Academy is always closed. I open it every now and then for special enrollment, and this enrollment is special because of the fact that the price will be going up on the 13th for the Tarot Practice Academy. It's been at $37 per month for quite some time, and everybody who's in the Tarot Practice Academy is locked in at that $37 per month. However, it will be increasing to $47 a month on the 13th. And the reason for that is because we've just added so much more value into the program with our 48-hour feedback and our resource vault. So anyway, if you guys have any questions about that, let me know. Let's get started. So where are you guys at in your content journey? Julia says just starting a business. I love that. And then let me queue up the slideshow. And we can get started. Hi, Mikkel. How are you? Welcome, welcome. It's pretty early over there, isn't it? All righty. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. You're just starting to? Awesome. So what's great about this video is it is absolutely going to be the things that help you set that foundation for your content creation. So let's go ahead and get started. So I first wanted to talk about what is the purpose of content. So before you start posting, or if you haven't done this before and you've been posting, why do you want to create content? So first and foremost, I think it's all about connecting with your audience. It's all about creating things that your audience likes that will help them make the transformation that they're trying to make, will possibly entertain them, will help them share about their own life with you. Oh, I love that, Mikkel. Yeah, I feel that. There is a lot of technical aspects to a lot of the business side of things, isn't there? One thing that I can say about that, Mikkel, is that over time you will get better at using technology. It just comes with practice. All right, so the first thing is connecting with your audience. At the end of the day, all a business is you providing services for somebody who wants to solve a problem or make a change. And the best way to help people is to build a relationship with them. The best way is to really connect with them. And so this is one of the ways, especially on social media, especially in the digital world, that we can do that. Establish authority and trust. So another purpose for content is to show people that you can help them. This is such a digital online marketing is very overwhelmed right now with lots of different people marketing products and possibly even scams, right? We've all seen those too. And so what happens is the market doesn't know who they can trust. More than ever in the online space, consumers are asking themselves, who can I trust? And I even see it on my ads right now. I had somebody just the other day say, I'm afraid you're going to scam me. This was on my $7 High Priestess Tarot School ad. Like, how do I know that you're not a scammer? How do I know you're not going to scam me? And I think content helps you to connect with people, to prove that you know what you're talking about, to prove that that you're real, right? I think that's a big thing for people too. They want to know that you're a real person behind the screen. And as you know, we always talk about the know, like, and trust factor when it comes to being in business. You have to have people in your audience that know, like, and trust you for you to be able to sell. That's just the bottom line. People have to start to get to know you. They have to like you and they have to trust you before they ever purchase from you. So if you haven't started with your social media, that's okay. You start from the ground up, right? So then you're building an audience from zero. And that's perfectly fine. We all start at that place, right? Okay, next, showcase your unique voice. This is a way to show people what you stand for, who you are, how you help them, how you can help them differently than another person. So, have you ever been looking for a solution to a problem? And you've looked here and you've looked there and you have a couple different people to choose from, and then you finally choose? The reason why you've chosen a certain person is typically a couple different reasons, but number one is usually that you resonated with them, that you were able to understand how they could help you, and you were trusting them, and you resonated with their unique voice. You resonated with who they are and who they present themselves to be. Another one is price, which is definitely important in the online world, right? But the number one thing I think that has us buying from somebody is knowing who they are and how they like to help you and what they stand for. So this is a really good time in your content to show all of these things: personality, values, approach, authentically sharing yourself with your audience or with the audience that you're creating. Okay, next, educate and inspire. These are two different objectives for some of your posts. Are you looking to educate people? Are you looking to inspire people? People in your audience need both of those. They need education about the thing it is that you offer them, the thing that you help them with. They also need inspiration so that they can step into that new version of themselves, or they can step into that solution. Driving engagement. This is a way for you to build your social media profiles. Almost all of the algorithms rely at least somewhat on engagement when it comes to pushing out your content to new people who've never heard of you before. So if you'd like to get organic reach, driving engagement is going to be really, really important with your content. Guide clients on their journey. This kind of comes with the educate and inspire in terms of like seeing, even being able to show your ideal client where they're at, where they want to be, and the gap that's there. Being able to really point that out to them is in itself a benefit. And then when we can break down the journey into specific pieces, that's even more valuable to them. And then lastly, nurturing leads and driving sales. They kind of come hand in hand. Leads are people who may want your product or services. One of the things that I try to do on a regular basis is ask who are my hottest leads, who are the people who are most likely to want my products and services. And so having a list or having it at the top of your head can be really, really important. So nurturing leads is all about showing up for them. It's all about giving them that inspiration, giving them that trust with you. So your content is going to fulfill all of these roles. And one of the things when you're looking at your content and you're looking for, am I missing something with my content? It doesn't really seem to be moving. You can always come back to this and say, am I fulfilling all of these requirements? Am I guiding clients on their journey? Am I nurturing new people who come into the fold? Am I driving engagement to my posts so that I can get further reach? Is my growth within whichever platform that I've chosen really slow? Maybe engagement's going to really help with that. Have I shown people who I really am, and am I connecting with my audience? So this is a good litmus test too, to if you find yourself in gaps when it comes to your content. Okay, so let's talk about the types of content. I've put a lot of them here on the screen because there are a ton of different types of content. So we've got educational. This is when we're teaching our audience something valuable. This is when we are giving them those valuable posts. Value posts have a really big place in your feed, and it's definitely recommended that you have multiple pieces of value post for every promotional post. And we have a question about that later, so I'll go deeper into that in the Q&A. But you want to stand out as an authority and you want to educate your audience. This is one of the most important things that are going to be in your content. Inspirational, these can be stories, quotes, visuals to help uplift people, to help motivate them, to help them recognize that they really do want this change and transformation. All right. Entertaining content. I feel like for me, this is my weakest. I never thought of myself as an entertainer. But I think that for a lot of people who are watching this, you're likely tarot readers. So tarot can be a really great way to provide that entertaining content. Doing collective readings is a great way to do that. Personal stories. So this is about sharing about yourself. Behind the scenes are really, really popular and people love to see it. Testimonials and success stories. This is a must. This is as important as your educational content because this is what's going to show people that they can trust you. This is what's going to show people, hey, I've had clients and I've already helped them, and here's what they say. This is one of the most important things that you're going to want to get for yourself when you first get started out in your business. Okay, promotional content. Like I said, you want several pieces of educational content for each and every one of your promotional content posts. There are times that the balance is going to shift a little bit. For example, I'm heavily marketing and promoting the 11/11 launch of the Tarot Practice Academy that's coming up tomorrow morning at 11:11 a.m. And throughout the next couple days, as that offer is live, I will continue to heavily promote it. And let me tell you, I wasn't very good at that. The first several years of being a coach, I would put out one post for something and nobody would sign up and I would be really sad. This is part of my journey. I have had to learn that people need lots of reminders. Your audience may only see one of 7 posts. Maybe if I post 7 posts for this promotion, and I'll give you guys a breakdown after it's done. But if I post 7 posts, maybe some people are only going to see one of the 7. So it's okay. You don't want to post the same thing over and over, but you can come at it from different angles. But as a general rule, when you're not in a heavy promotional period because you're promoting something, for a short time because of flash opening or a special 2-day event or sale or something like that. We're talking several educational posts for each promotional post. Hi, guys. Okay, engagement posts. This is posts that encourage interactions, and you can actually include this on all of your other types of posts, and I'm going to show you that when I talk about the breakdown of your captions. But engagement posts are really good too. You want the engagement on your profile no matter where you are at. This is always a big part of algorithms for social media. And then we have live content. This is what we're doing right now. So I am live with you guys. I am walking you through content. Live content is great because people can really get a sense of who you are. I personally like live content better than pre-recorded content when it comes to doing it for people. I love to have the interaction. I love to have you guys right there with me talking and chatting about whatever the topic is. It's definitely my preferred way of teaching. Okay, so next, why you need to define your ideal client. Here's the thing. I would say 90% of tarot readers, maybe not all spiritual business owners, but at least 90% of all tarot readers do not have a good idea as to who their ideal client is. And for a lot of them, and actually for everybody, I can remember in coaching school, for example, when we went over ideal client, there were so many coaches that were like, I don't want to limit the people that I can help. I don't want to limit the people that I can bring into my business. And the thing of it is you don't. First off, let me first tell you, you do not limit that, because there are certain people that are meant to work with you in this universe, in this lifetime, who will find you. You are energetically aligned with them. They will find you. They will not be your ideal client. And that's okay. There's plenty of people that I work with on a daily basis that aren't my necessarily ideal client. So it's okay. Defining an ideal client, what it does is it gives you a place to market. It gives you somebody to talk to when it comes to your marketing, because otherwise your marketing is going to be absolutely watered down and unspecific. So let's look at these. Having an ideal client builds stronger connections because you're going to know them. You are literally calling them in with your content. You are literally saying, these are the people I want to hang out with. You're going to have strong connections with them already because likely they've gone through something that you've gone through and that you can help with. So also, not only build stronger connections, but you have been in their position, so you are best to help them. They can, having an ideal client increases engagement because you're talking to a specific person, a specific type of person. Then they could recognize themselves in your content and they will engage in your posts. It enhances relevance. So it ensures that your content is relevant and meaningful for those people. Otherwise, your content can be like all over the place and not really calling in any specific person. Have you ever followed somebody and then seen this weird post that had nothing to do with you, and you're like, oh, I don't think I should be following this person. I don't feel connected to them, and you might even unfollow them. It improves conversion. I mean, this is absolutely, if you're looking to sell something, number one, you need conversions, because without sales, you don't have a business. So having that improved conversion rate is absolutely essential in your business. And boosting content effectiveness kind of has to do with the relevance and the conversion too, right? So I actually put these together for you guys because I wanted to have like a very visual representation of two different types of readers when it comes to putting out a promotional post. Okay, so let's say Susie is really going through it in her relationship, right? Susie is constantly thinking about her relationship and how she wants it to improve and how the communication just isn't there. And maybe she's tried like a ton of different things to fix the relationship to no avail. And let's say she sees this post right here. There's love right there in the middle. So we've got tarot reading. We have a love tarot reading. It's possible that she books into this, right? It's possible that she sees this and she's like, I really need a love reading. And she books into it. But how much more likely is it that she's going to click on and book into this relationship repair tarot reading that clearly defines what she's going to get in that reading, gain clarity on communication blocks? Suddenly, as she's looking at this, she's like, we have terrible communication. This is absolutely what I need. Unlock deeper understanding. Yeah, he doesn't understand me at all, right? Reignite harmony and trust. That's all I want. All I want is for us to be happy, for us to be harmonious, right? So already she's really connected to this. She sees this happy couple. She sees the benefits to this relationship repair tarot reading. And then she might even see this free relationship health checklist for the first time bookings. She might be like, oh, I would love that checklist. So now we're adding even more reasons for her, our ideal client, to book into this reading. So I wanted to just kind of get a feel for everybody who's here live with me now. Does that make sense? Does it make sense as to why this is so much more powerful for your ideal client than something like this? Yes, definitely. Mm-hmm. So this is why we want to have a very specific ideal client that we are marketing to. This doesn't mean other people won't find us. Other people will be resonating with your message. They will find you. They won't be your exact ideal client. And they'll still book with you anyway. Yeah, being specific. You can't be specific if you don't help an ideal client. It's just impossible. All you're going to be like is clarity and guidance right here. I got you with some clarity and guidance. Who's looking for clarity and guidance? I guess we all are, but is that going to have us taking out our wallet? I thought that this was the best way to really show it. I thought, I feel like the best way to really show this is to show a side by side. If you think of your problem, like the biggest thing you're trying to solve right now, which might even be content in your business, I don't know. And you saw, business content session, and then you saw 3 things that were really going to help you with your business content, and maybe a free checklist that you're going to get when you book into this. You'd be much more likely to do it than if I just put a session with Sunny, right? Would you do more than one of these, like for each area of focus? Yeah, you could 100%. So the thing of it is no matter what you are talking about, there are a lot of different ways to frame it. There's a lot of different ways into your messaging. You could, in fact, when I teach people in Prosperous Priestess Path to set up 3 session titles, reading titles, you have 3 readings that you can market. Just like this, you could make lots of different ways around it. You could test multiple points here for like what people are going to get from it. These are like the benefits, right? You could test different benefits. You could also test all 3 of these readings and see which one does better. And then eventually you might see like, okay, I have three readings that I'm advertising, and I keep getting lots of people for this one, and I'm not getting any for the other 2 readings. Well, that's a really good time for you to change the names of those other 2 readings and start marketing them and testing them and seeing how that goes. When it comes to business, it's all about testing. I was terrible at testing for the first several years of my business. And if things didn't work, I still stuck with it. I still kept doing the same thing over and over. I didn't change my session titles. I didn't change the positioning of my offers. I didn't change my offers at all. I just tried really hard to sell one offer. And when it wasn't selling, I just kept trying. And I don't know if any of you guys know about coaching, but I did 50 discovery calls for my fertility niche. I've had 4 miscarriages and 2 ectopic pregnancies, so I did fertility coaching for a time. 50 no's. And I didn't change anything. I didn't change the conversation. I didn't change the title of the program. I didn't change anything. So what I've learned throughout the way is we have to be testing. Like, for example, if I would have done 10 conversations and then recognized there's something wrong, let's try some different things. Let's try changing the name. Let's try figuring out a new positioning. Maybe I need to offer something else within the package, right? It's all about testing. And so the more angles you can come at, especially promotional posts like this, the better, because the more you'll understand about your ideal client and what sells within your specific niche. And then Vanessa says, I love the awareness that even if they don't resonate with being that ideal client, they may energetically align with you and may ask to work with you in other areas. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. People will find you from your energy. They will just resonate with you, and you'll find that you'll work with them too. Also, your ideal client is going to be a specific part of a more wider client base that you have. For example, you could consider that I have 2 ideal clients. In the High Priestess Tarot School, the ideal client for that program is somebody who is learning tarot or just starting their business, right? Those are the 2 clients that work really well for that. My ideal client, though, is somebody who wants to or has a tarot business. And that might shift too, right? So it might end up shifting that I'm like, actually, my ideal client is somebody who's been in business for a little while and is struggling. I don't know. I actually just switched to this ideal client, right? But I have multiple client types that I help and that my services help with. So it's okay to have a broad range and a very specific ideal client as well. Okay, understanding your audience. So once you have thought about your ideal client and you've defined how you want to help people, who you want to help, a lot of times, by the way, your first test ideal client is going to be you a year or 2 ago. Try not to overcomplicate it. What are you good at? What can you help somebody with, right? What transformation have you gone through that you're going to be especially good at helping people with? Those are some really easy questions that'll help you come into your first test ideal client. And I say that because a lot of people are afraid that if they pick an ideal client, they'll be stuck with it. I was just talking about being a fertility coach, right? I've been a miscarriage support coach. I've been a cycles coach. So the thing of it is you can very easily change how you're helping, who you're helping, all of that thing within your business. And that's okay. And one thing that I think isn't talked about enough either is that you will find your true ideal client through working with lots of different people. So you might pick an ideal client and you might be like, there's something really wrong about this. For example, with the fertility client, I'll use that as an example. I was like, I hate talking to people about what they're eating every day. I loathe it. I do not enjoy this. So I switched to miscarriage support. So once you recognize that there's something off about how you help them or who you're helping, then you can shift and you can change. It's perfectly fine, and it's actually part of the journey. You can only get those insights from trying it, from testing. At what point do you know if it's a problem with marketing and just haven't had aligned clients sign up yet? Right away. I mean, I'd say that, like, you have to build an audience. That's absolutely pivotal. So it depends on how big your audience size is, but really you've got to validate your offers. I personally think the best way, the easiest way, the fastest way to validate an offer is through an ad, because that's how you're going to get the most eyes on something. Because the thing of it is if you have a reach of 100 people per post, that's not really enough data to ask yourself, Is my offer validated yet? So with every offer you have, so for example, if you have the 3 readings types, you must validate them to know, right? So if you can easily say, okay, this got 13 clicks and I got 0 people signed up. Okay, so it's not validated yet. Let's say you know that it reached 2,000 people and nobody bought it. Then you know that. So for example, when I'm running an ad, if I get 2,000 reach and nobody has purchased anything from the ad, I turn it off. So that messaging, that graphic, all of that, it didn't work, right? And that's about a $40 test. $40 to $60 can get you that information on Facebook ads. So it depends. If you're going to go all organic, it's going to take you a lot longer to validate your offer. But basically, you know that there's a problem with your offer if you don't have any purchases. Now, once you have some purchases, like let's say you've had 10 purchases and you're kind of looking at the client that's been purchasing, you can ask yourself, like, is there something up with these clients? So a good example, if I was going to market something, are you ready to start your ads? Right? So that's my marketing message. Are you ready to start your ad? And I'm like, I'm getting people who don't even have their ads manager set up on their Facebook yet. I don't want people who've never run ads before, right? This is just an example. Then I'm going to change my messaging and I'm going to say, are your ads not working? So once you recognize there's something with this ideal client that isn't really jiving for me and I really want to switch it a little bit, all you have to do is define that what is not resonating with working with this type of person. What are you noticing is coming from this sort of message? And then define that and then change your message. Okay, so understanding your audience. This is all about paying attention to your audience. This is about as you start to gain followers and as you start to, like, maybe you have a Facebook group that you've set up and you're starting to talk to people. Maybe you're offering free things so that you can get in conversations with people. Maybe you're starting to help people solve their problems, which is the number one thing you have to do right away. You have to start helping people one-on-one, preferably, solve their problems. This is what we do in a business. We help people solve problems. No matter what business you're in, you're doing it. So you're communicating with them, you're understanding who tends to like your post, you're understanding because you're getting into conversations, you can do a little bit of like research too. Like a few people join your Facebook group, you can click on their profile and see, are they moms, are they not moms, are they business owners, like what's been common about them, just kind of understanding and getting to know your audience. Who are you attracting? This is such an important part of the journey, and to discount this means to not be able to make good decisions for your products for that audience, right? Because once we truly understand our audience, we can develop our offers based on them and their needs. So for example, let's say you have a Facebook group that you started. We're just going to use love and relationship because all of us have gone through that sort of problem. Most of us, I think, have gone through that sort of problem. So maybe you'd make a Facebook group about love and relationships, and you're there in that Facebook group to help them, find more cohesion in their relationship. You will start to notice that they're talking about a specific problem. So you can offer a specific thing just for them. So as you listen to and as you get to know their wants and their needs, specific, not just to like what ChatGPT says your audience should have, but like actually listening to the people in your audience, this is when things will really start to take off for you because you can create for them. And I talk about this story a lot, but I really wanted to teach people astrology. I had a membership. It was called Cosmic Expansion. It was actually about the same price as the High Priestess Tarot School, but I didn't have as much of the infrastructure as I have for the High Priestess Tarot School. And I just wasn't able to support it. I think my highest month was like $300 in revenue from it. And I just wasn't able to support it. I couldn't find the right messaging around it. I didn't have the right offer and the right page to set up because I didn't know enough yet about how to set those things up. And everybody around me, everybody in my audience, which was actually not super big, but I had a lot of very loyal people who were hanging out with me on a regular basis because I was doing daily TikTok lives. They kept asking for tarot. They said, "We love how you read tarot. We want to learn how to read tarot like you." And so I opened the High Priestess Tarot School. You will find that by listening to your clients, you are able to offer the things that they want and then they need. And by listening, I was able to greatly increase my revenue. We're at 480 members right now, which is really exciting. And also I had to learn some other things along the way too. But that was one of them. All right. And listening to your audience is going to be such a good thing for you. By the way, a good way to do that if you have a Facebook group is asking questions, making polls in your Facebook group. Okay, I did one ad, but I really can't afford them right now. Yeah, totally. A lot of times we have to have a little bit of income coming in order to fund them, right? I don't have a website set up yet. I have such a limited time, but I plan to work more on it on my time off during my full-time job around the holidays. Awesome. Well, we have some really quick and easy websites in the High Priestess Tarot School, by the way. Like plug and play. It only takes like an hour to set them up. If you're good at Canva. If you're not, it may be a little bit longer. But yes, you got this. Oh, you had your first client reach out to you. Love that. You know, it's okay to not charge at first. The thing of it is by working with people, you will learn how you help them. And you can also get testimonials. This is one of the best ways to get a testimonial is to help people for free. Because a testimonial is actually worth money, right? You're so welcome. All right. So when it comes to your content, something that's really important is defining your goals. What are you looking to do with this piece of content? Are you increasing your brand awareness? Are you building community? Are you educating? This is the value post. Very important. Are you wanting to generate leads? Are you wanting to drive sales? Are you positioning yourself as an authority? Sharing that unique voice, right? Sharing your way of helping people with the thing that you help with. Foster engagement. Are you gathering feedback? Beta testing is so awesome in order to get groups of people who are really excited about something because they get it for cheaper for free. So you could do like beta launches in order to gather feedback from people. The one suggestion that I have is make it short. I've done some too big beta launches before. Keep them short, guys. All right. Promoting events and special offers, providing inspiration and motivation. There's lots of different goals that you can have for each and every individual post, but to define that goal is really important so that you'll know what that post is for and you'll be able to make it even more valuable. All right. So now we're going to get into content pillars. So you can't truly get and define your content pillars until you've defined your ideal client, because your content pillars should speak to your ideal client. It should be what they are looking for. It should be something that helps them specifically. And so I have here identify 3 to 5 overarching themes. You can go up to 7 with your content pillars. And one thing that I love about having a list of content pillars is that you have a list of ideas that are already there and waiting for you when you're ready to create content. How many of you guys have like went to create a piece of content and you're just staring blankly like into the void? You're like, I have no idea what to write about. The content pillars will definitely help with that brainstorm process. It will definitely help give you things to post about. It'll help you focus on your audience interests. So it'll also, here I have stay consistent. It'll also help you with continuing to supply the same type of information. Remember when I was talking about like the person who's maybe not very clear on what they're presenting, and then you see something like that's very off the wall, and maybe you followed them for a certain thing and you see something completely different and you're like, maybe this person's stuff isn't for me. This is the way that these sticking to your content pillars will help people understand what your brand is, right? That sort of brand awareness, so they can know for sure if it's for them or not. And then evaluate and adjust. Regularly review your pillars. Figure out, is there one pillar that's just not doing well? Maybe look at your analytics on the back ends. Look at any insights when it comes to that content pillar, like those posts, right? So you're like, well, for example, one of my content pillars is it's tarot tips, but I do every week like a guess the tarot card. If at any point it stops doing well, I'll nix it, right? So if I start to notice the engagement is going down on it, people aren't that interested in that post anymore, I'll stop doing that every week. All right. So here are some examples. So the content pillar I want everybody to have is testimonials. One thing that I do is as soon as I get a testimonial, I screenshot it, I send it to myself, and I try my best to create a post right then and there. I go into Canva, I throw it on a background, I post it. I don't spend a lot of time creating it. I don't spend a lot of time writing up a caption. It's always very simple, something like celebrating this member who did this or that thing. Because we want to constantly be sharing how we're helping people so that other people can see themselves in those testimonials. So people can say, oh yeah, I've really been looking exactly for that. So that's the one I want you to all have. Okay, education and tips. So maybe you're going to teach people about tarot. Maybe one of your content pillars is going to be teaching about the tarot cards so that people can understand the cards more, or maybe even just teaching how the cards can help them, like talking to them about why it's great to book a reading, right? Now, you could also slot in other modalities that you might use. Maybe you're a sound healer or a Reiki healer or something like that. You can post tarot education, you can post Reiki education, the sort of modality around which you help people. We've got personal growth and self-discovery within your niche. I'd say probably a couple of your I'd say 3. If you have 3 sessions, those 3 sessions are going to be 3 very different ways that you help people. So for example, in relationships, maybe you have the relationship repair, maybe you have a fall back in love again, maybe you have a should I stay or should I go, right? So you have those 3 types. Those are 3 really good content pillars for you to start off with. A content pillar about fixing your relationship with a relationship fix session, right? So thinking about matching those pillars, these educational pillars right here, with your actual topics for your readings, and your titles for your readings. Okay. Spirituality and mindfulness could be a really good one. Empowerment and self-care is always great, especially in the spiritual realm. Intuition and inner wisdom, energy work and protection. This kind of depends, right? Because if you're working with other spiritual people and they're part of your ideal client is spirituality, intuition and inner wisdom will be great because that's one of the things that they're always looking for. However, maybe you're not. Maybe you're working with men who don't really resonate with spirituality, but they're looking to find a relationship for them, right? So you probably wouldn't do this one. So there's those are just some ideas. You can also use ChatGPT to help you once you've figured out your ideal client. And I'm going to share with you guys something that I've created for the Tarot Practice Academy to help you like really action all of these. But once you've figured out your ideal client and you're finished with that, then you're going to move on to this, and you can actually have it help you with some ideas for some content pillars. But those will definitely get you started. All right. So next, after you're done with the pre-work of defining your ideal client, and coming up with your content pillars, then you're going to start to create content. And I'm going to go deeper into this in the next live that I do. But I wanted to talk about it here and just kind of talk about some things. Like I said, we're gonna go even deeper next time. But when it comes to crafting engaging content, you have to know your audience. Like I said, the number one thing after audience, ideal client is everything. For everything in your business. Everything you're creating needs to be for your ideal client. That's something you're thinking about at all times. Now, strong hooks. So important. You want hooks on your graphics. You want hooks on your captions. You want different hooks on your graphic and caption for the same post. Hooks are the most important thing, whether it's a video, no matter what you're doing, when it comes to content, after your ideal client, hooks are the number one thing. If you don't grab somebody's attention, if you don't show them why they should read it, they're not going to. We are inundated right now with content. So in order to stand out and have people know that what you have is going to be beneficial for them, they need to see a hook that gets them to read. Okay. So readability, very important, and definitely something that I see a lot of people doing in their posts. And we'll kind of go through all of the individual things too in just a minute, and definitely when we're doing some creating together in the next one. But you want people to be able to easily read the post graphic and easily read the caption. Clear and simple messaging. This is very important too. You want to use language that mirrors the language that your client would use. This is something I see happen all the time with people who are offering services that might be a little bit above somebody's head. So a lot of times they get technical with their description. And the problem with that is they end up losing people. And with the spirituality too, it can be like really, really woo-woo and pie in the sky. And that will attract a certain amount of people. But when you're able to really practically communicate with this clear and simple messaging, and I'm going to show you some examples here, you're going to see people actually who don't like tune out, right? We want to be speaking in our ideal client's language. So an example of this is unclear. This is clear. I'm going to read them to you so you can kind of see. This session offers an in-depth exploration of relational barriers, attachment styles, and behavioral patterns that may be contributing to disconnection within your partnership. I mean, how many of you guys would like tune out to that? You're like, I don't even get this. Yeah, maybe attachment style. Like there's something to be said for saying like, are you this certain attachment style? If so, blah, blah, blah. But that's not going to reach people the same way this one would even if you were clear on like just attachment styles, which some people are going to understand because they've learned a little bit about that. What you want, if you're talking about attachment style, they have to have that level of education prior to seeing your post. Whereas this reading helps you understand what might be causing distance between you and your partner and gives you guidance on how to reconnect. There is no education necessary for this clear messaging, right? Yeah, Julia, there will be a replay. So looking at your language and seeing, are you using language that people have to be educated to get educated about the topic? Are you talking about things that people don't talk about? Or are you saying it the way that somebody might say it? If somebody comes into your home, are they going to say, I just feel like we're so far apart, right? I just want to feel connected again. So this is going to really resonate with them. This, probably not so much. Okay, next, strong hooks. Like I said, Number one thing other than ideal client. I've given you some things here, so feel free to screenshot this. And I've generated 50 templates for strong hooks for you guys as well that I'll be dropping in the Tarot Practice Academy. But these are some ways that you can do it. So you can start with a question. Feeling stuck in your relationship is a really good example of that. Feeling disconnected in your relationship is kind of what we were just talking about, right? Starting with that question. Ready to, in my 1111 post, ready to up-level your tarot business is huge in my 1111 posting right now. And I invite you to go check out some of my posts and look for those hooks. See if you can identify them. Address a pain point. So this is a really great way to help people understand if this is for them. So if you address a pain point, then, and they're like, yeah, yep, I am definitely struggling to communicate with my partner. This post is for me, right? We're really wanting them to notice this post is for me. Now I'm going to read it. Like I said, we just have so much content all over the place. We need to know that it's for us to take a pause and to actually pay attention to it. Share something intriguing. Most relationship conflicts come down to a simple misunderstanding. This like has people really curious, like, what? Wait, what? Not really. We're constantly fighting about this, and it's not really a misunderstanding. Right? So sometimes people completely disagree with it and they read. Sometimes they agree with it and they're like, oh, let me hear more about this. Use you language. You deserve a love that feels secure and fulfilling. I've gone back and forth between we language and you language when it comes to my posts. I try my best to use you language, but I'm not always consistent with that. Promise a benefit. Discover 3 steps to reignite the spark in your relationship. You know, the numbers always seem to do really good with hooks, like 3 things to help you do whatever. 3 steps, 3 tips, things like that are very popular and people stop and pause on them. Add emotion. Don't let resentment drive a wedge between you and your partner. And you can definitely use ChatGPT or other AI platforms to help you craft your hooks. I'm going to give you guys some templates so that you can craft them yourself with, you know, like templates, which is, you know, it's good for anybody, no matter what niche it is. You just adapt them for your niche. So I talked about readability too. Oops, nope. So here we got strong hooks, readability, and clear and simple message. So here's the clear and simple message. Here's the hooks. Now we're looking at readability. So I actually snagged one of my old posts right here, this Mercury retrograde in Taurus, for a just for a little example. And what I see happening a lot in posts is something like this, where there's like a whole bunch of text and maybe it's too small to read, or maybe there's just no paragraph breaks, there's no bolding, there's just a lot of stuff. And I'm curious, would you read this? Maybe if you were really, really interested in Mercury retrograde, right? Maybe. But people are skimmers, especially now in this day and age. People like to skim. So themes, internal reflection, spending time in nature, journal questions. Here's some journal questions, and here's a focus for personal growth. It's easily digestible. So this, we can look at it, we can get benefit from it, we can like it, we can read the caption and then move on. But this feels like a lot of work, right? So we want to, as much as we can, break things up. So I've taken that same text that's here on the graphic, and I've put it into like the caption. So if you're putting like a big block of text like that in the caption, likely nobody's reading the caption. So the caption's not doing you any good. The graphic may not be doing you any good. But instead, if you have a graphic like this, where you're breaking things up, and then you have a caption like this, where you're breaking things up, you are able to easily digest that content without feeling like you have to work for it. Does that make sense? So you want to make it readable as possible so that your ideal clients don't have to work for it. Because in the world of content, when there's just so much of it, are we really willing to work for it? So things that can help is emojis, splitting up your paragraphs. So here, these are some tips, right? Splitting up those tips into their own very own paragraph. I've also got here, I have a hook, feeling stuck or frustrated. Mercury retrograde in Taurus might be to blame. And so you'll also notice that it's different than the hook here, which is just Mercury retrograde in Taurus. So you'll notice it's different. That's definitely one thing I've been trying to institute is different hooks on the graphic and on the caption. I love to say, save this post. So I've recently started adding this, save this post for quick insights. And then here's like a bunch of tips here. And then here's a call to action. I didn't put my program name in, but want deeper insights on navigating retrogrades? Join Cosmic Expansion. That's what I was running at the time for spiritual growth tools and cosmic guidance. Follow me for more. So you'll see lots of call to actions. Here we've got the save call to action. Here we have the join my program, Cosmic Expansion call to action. Here we have follow for more astrology and tarot insights. And then we have a little invitation for engagement. How are you feeling this Mercury retrograde? Share in the comments and tag a friend who could use these tips. So this is actually filling a lot of what we want in a caption. And we'll talk a lot more about that. And I'll show you how to implement this in the next live that we do. But there's a lot of stuff in here instead of just like this sort of block of information, right? So how I'm understanding is to keep it brief and to use deeper info for members or workshops. Not necessarily. I'll show you in my Instagram when we get into the Q&A, because I know you asked a couple questions about this, Vanessa, in terms of like how much to give away. So we'll kind of talk about that in the Q&A. And I think that's next. It's actually the next thing. Okay, so let's just jump right in. So Vanessa asked, how do I balance free content with paid offerings to avoid giving too much away for free? I've heard some creators say to give a majority of your information for free and to charge higher prices to work with you. What's your thoughts on this approach? Give everything away for free. That's my thoughts and approach. You don't even have to charge people higher. The thing of it is right now I am giving you everything. I am actually taking this training when we're done with it and I'm adding it into the Tarot Practice Academy. So I am giving everyone everything, all of the information. However, you must be in the Tarot Practice Academy to grab the strategy toolkit in order to implement it, right? So I'm giving that to Tarot Practice Academy members, yet I'm giving all of the information here in this post, right? So I still have a differentiation between what my members receive and what the people who are watching this public video receive. However, I'm not holding back any information from you guys. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm only giving this information to the tarot practice, because the thing of it is you have to prove that you know what you're talking about. You have to prove that you have something worth offering. And the only way you can do that is to give it all away. So when it comes to feeling like nobody's going to work with you if you give it all away, it's absolutely incorrect. Absolutely incorrect. In fact, people will notice how generous you are. They'll notice there's something that my coach calls the reciprocity bucket. And this is, we fill up that reciprocity bucket and we're giving and we're giving and we're giving and we get in return. In fact, the Six of Pentacles is all about reciprocity and the law of reciprocity, which, if you know anything about anything that you give, you will receive in equal value, whether it's from the person you give it to or from someone else. The universe is set up in order to make sure that we receive everything that we've given, right? You will receive in equal value or more. anything that you give out. So don't worry about giving away the farm. Give everybody all the information. Show people how to do things. Sometimes our programs, even the low ticket programs, aren't accessible to people, but that information still will be. So that's kind of what I like. And I also promised you that I would show you in your content. So let's go to Instagram. And in my value posts, I give it all away. Here, everything here is in the Tarot Reflections Journal in the High Priestess Tarot School. I mean, not the questions, I guess, in the journal, but all of the information, most of the information is right here. In addition to that, like, let's see a value post. I wanted to see a carousel. How can you tell? Okay, 3 steps to grow your spiritual business. So here, giving them everything, right? The more valuable your posts can be, the more people are going to like them, the more they're going to continue watching them, reading them. Don't feel like you have to worry about not giving things away. The more that we can give, the better. All right. How important is consistency in posting, and how do I maintain it without burning out? It's important. Your audience expects consistency. By the way, if you have any other cute questions, guys, feel free to drop them in the chat. These are all the ones that were left in the event. Okay, so it's important. Your audience is expecting to see you somewhat regularly. Now, that doesn't mean when you've taken a hiatus, which sometimes we do, maybe we have something going on and we're not able to post for a little while. Yeah, that doesn't mean you have to like start over. You can just jump right in and you can be like, hey, sorry, this thing came up, and you don't even have to tell them that, but you can say, I'm back now. When it comes to maintaining it, I say start small. So what is the smallest amount that you can do right now that feels comfortable? Maybe that is twice a week, right? And then eventually you can work up to it. You can work up to wherever like your ideal goal is for your content. So just start small and work your way up. How did I lose my Q&A here? What should I prioritize if I have limited time to create content? I would say 1 promotional post a week and 2 value posts a week. So I would say minimum of 3 posts, depending on the platform, but a minimum of 3 posts, 2 value and 1 promotional. How important is consistency? How did we get that twice? Okay. Next, the best way to brainstorm new and fresh ideas for content. So far, going along with seasons changing, autumn for harvesting, winter for rest and rejuvenation, and spring for planting seeds and new growth. Can ChatGPT be worked with for this? Yeah, so there's a couple different ways that you can brainstorm new ideas. The hooks will definitely help. So let's go ahead and bring out that content strategy toolkit. So I'll show you what's in here real quick, and then I'll show you how the hooks can kind of help with that. So the first thing you're going to get is the ideal client worksheet. Let's open it up. I didn't want to preview it. I want to open it. Oh, there we go. I have to click on the name. Okay, so the first thing you're going to get is an ideal client questionnaire. I've also given you a ChatGPT prompt in order to get even deeper insights on them. Obviously, when you get your expanded ideal client from ChatGPT, edit it, take a look through it, read it over really good, take out anything that doesn't apply, add anything that that the brainstorming triggers when you are filling this out. Next, we've got the content pillars. So this is where you can put down your 7 content pillars. You can think about whether they're for education, engagement, inspiration, and then you can also have yourself or have ChatGPT create some hook ideas and hashtags. So when you have those hook ideas really sussed out, those hooks can really help you in terms of giving you that jumping off point for a piece of content, right? So here's the 50 hook templates. So for example, is it time to specific action? Here's how to know. So for that relationship niche, is it time to leave my relationship? Here's how to know, right? How I overcame blank to positive result. How I overcame a lack of communication to a deep and understanding relationship, right? So we're just kind of taking these hooks here and we're filling in, oops, that's not what I meant to do. And we are filling in these little brackets that you find. So here's a simple way to blank. Here's a simple way to understand your partner better. Here's a simple way to increase the love in your relationship. 3 things you didn't know about topic or practice. 3 things you didn't know about manifesting your true love. So these can help you have that jumping off point. You'll generate a secondary hook for your caption and make sure it's different. And it can help you like with that brainstorming. Also, you can ask ChatGPT for more hooks for your ideal client. So once you've really decided on your ideal client, which I do suggest using ChatGPT to help you brainstorm, asking for 50 hooks for content for that ideal client. Okay, and then last but not least, you guys are getting the content calendar. So this is a way for you to decide on which platforms you want to post when. You can edit this too, by the way. If you don't ever plan on Pinterest, you can quite literally remove these lines, or you can put other social media platforms in here. You can, mark the boxes. So this is all editable. It's a Google Doc. And a posting calendar with notes. So all of that will be available for you in the Tarot Practice Academy. And yeah, the thing about those hooks is they're going to give you really good content. I don't know what happened to my slideshow, but we have a lot of extra slides in there. All right, the best cameras and apps for making quality content. So I use ChatGPT for AI. I also use Midjourney for my graphics. This graphic here on this slide is Midjourney. However, the aesthetics are the least important part about your business. It's good. It's good to have good aesthetics, right? Like, we love good aesthetics, but the most important thing when it comes to your business is, can you help people? They are going to care about that ahead of anything else. My coach, her first round, by the way, she is a multi-million-dollar business owner. She has thousands of people in her memberships and makes well over $1 million a year. And she started out in her closet filming her videos. So, and she became $1 million business owner without ever getting out of that closet yet. So what I want to say is you can find YouTube videos that tell you about the right camera to buy. And I'm using StreamYard right now for this. But it's all about how you can help people and showing that you did help people, right? So this is less important than you think it is, I guess. How to grab attention and push content effectively. Scheduling for content. How much is too little versus too much? So how to grab attention is the hooks. So we've kind of already covered that. How to push content effectively. The best way to push your content is through ads. In addition to my sales ads, I also boost my content. I personally do it through the ads manager instead of boosts, but I boost at least 3 posts per week and I spend $10 on each of those posts. So I spend $30 on boosted posts so that I can push it more without ad spend. It's all about getting people to your space. So having really good content that's really thought out is going to help with bringing people in who've never seen you before. There's also like a lot of benefit to working with other business owners as a collab to get your things seen and to get their things seen by your audience. So there's lots of different ways that you can share yourself and that you can share your content. I personally do post everything on Instagram and Facebook. And a lot of times I use the Facebook Business Scheduler. So in Facebook Business, there's a planner. I can show you how to get to it real quick. Let me jump onto my business account. So in Facebook, there is Made a Business Suite in your business page, and then there's the planner. So what's great about the planner is you can schedule things ahead of time. So you can see, oh, this is this week coming up. So you can see that I'm scheduled out until next Thursday. I have all the information on the 11/11 opening. It's actually closing at 11/11 on the 13th. So we have lots of posts going through to let people know about that special flash opening. And, this was last week. They don't always start out having that much, but then I'll add throughout the day. I'll, post things to my story and they'll come up here. But you can also reschedule. So that's really cool too, because you can come in here, you can duplicate your posts if you accidentally forgot to put it to both Facebook and Instagram. You can reschedule it, you can duplicate it, you can delete it here. So those posts that are coming up, there's a lot that you can do with them too. So anyway, this is how I like to do it. However, for my carousel posts, I like to put those through in my Instagram because I put videos in them, and you can't really schedule with both videos and pictures over on Facebook. So in order to have both videos and pictures and have it be a carousel with music, you have to do it on your actual phone in the Instagram app. So I do schedule those through the Instagram app, and sometimes single video posts that I want to add music to. But the thing about carousel, which I just learned not too long ago, is that if you post a carousel with music in Instagram, it will also be shared as a reel to people as well. So that can help with the engagement too. By the way, I think reels and carousels are the most popular, the content that will get shared out the most on Instagram. How many free offers with value per week should I offer? So that depends on your marketing strategy. So let's kind of talk about that, because when I was doing the TikTok live every single morning, I was doing a giveaway every single morning. So at first, when I first started the giveaways, it was for free reading. This was a full 30-minute free reading. And I don't think I'd even been paid for any yet. But I was like, I want to see what this is like. I want to see if I like doing readings. So every day somebody won a free reading. Did they all collect? Nope. But what I was able to do is start to gather testimonials. I was able to start to understand, like, I like half-hour readings. I don't like hour readings. I feel like half an hour is a good time frame for me to do a good reading. And so that felt like my sweet spot. I was able to understand that based off of the practice that I did for free. And then over time, when I started booking people in paid, I was like, okay, so it feels excessive to be giving away free reading every single day. That's 7 a week. So I started doing live readings on TikTok. So this is when I go live and I say, hey, you can send me $5 for 3 cards, $15 for a full reading. My PayPal and Venmo are linked in my bio. And then I'm there live and I'm just doing readings for people. So then I start making money doing these live readings. So I'm like, here's what I'll do. In my giveaways every morning, I'll give away 1 free live reading. So it's a 3 card. It's actually much, much easier. It takes like less than 5 minutes instead of half an hour. So then I'm giving away 5-minute readings that they can, it was either Tuesday or Thursday. They could come in the afternoon and I'd be live and they could get those for free. And what that did is not only did it increase the engagement in my daily lives, but also when it came to my readings lives, it gave people who were just kind of hanging out watching me, trying to understand how I read and if they wanted to actually pay me for a reading. By giving away the one for free, it demonstrated how I read. So not only was I giving back to the person who was on my earlier live and won it, but I'm also showcasing what I can do in front of everybody else who's there on my live, just kind of watching and trying to figure out if they want to get a reading from me. And so that ended up being really great. And I continued that through until I stopped doing my daily morning live. I also now I have an advertising strategy where I offer a lot of freebies to help people with their problems, whether it's reading tarot, whether it's in their business. I have ads that run to those, and then I tell people, hey, like, comment this word and I will get you this guide. And then I talk to them and I try to understand what their problem is. I also do a little Loom video. I send them over the video, and I send them over the guide. And so that's a really great way to start to really understand the people who you're helping. So I could do that totally organic and not put ads money behind it too. And I have. So if you go to my Instagram, you might see like a client attraction checklist or something like that. Like, there's a lot of times, and I got to the point for a while where I was doing it once a week, where I was offering one free thing for people who want to have a conversation with me. And then, I do this on every other day. I go into my DM and I see who's DM'd me. I see who's asked for these freebies, and I give them their freebies. And it's a part of my marketing strategy. So, depending on your marketing strategy, first off, free offers should fill testimonials. And then after that, they should be a way for you to understand your ideal client better. I mean, it's always about that, right? How should we push promotional sales and how often? I think as a reader, I think once a week. If you're going to post 3 to 5 times a week, I'd say one promotional post per week. The obvious difference is if you're offering a sale. So for example, in here, when we had this graphic here. So this could be for the next 2 days. If you book this reading in the next 2 days, you get the free relationship health checklist. So I would post that 4 times in 2 days, right? I would post it several times in that 2 days because people need reminders, and you could post different graphics, different different benefit points and things like that. So running specials is really important. And one of the things that I definitely recommend is sitting down with a list of special events. So for example, 11/11 is a really great time for, something like Tarot Practice Academy, because people are looking to build their businesses. And what better time to start than 11/11, right? So it was a no-brainer. There's also Black Fridays coming up. We just passed Halloween. Halloween is a great time to talk about your readings. We're going to have Black Friday, January 1st. We have Christmas. You can do some Christmas promotions. Last year, I did a Christmas promotion that was like every day. The one thing I wouldn't do if I did this again, let me go to my old account. If I did this again, I wouldn't cover the most important thing. So let's see. I'm going to show you. I did like a 12 days of Christmas, I think. And it was actually really fun. And I gave away some cool giveaways during that 12 days. So a 12-day of Christmas can be really awesome. Oh, here, we're almost there. So right here, Merry Christmas. So every day, 1 day until Christmas. I don't know where 2 went. Maybe right here, the business tip. 3 days until Christmas. I did a student spotlight. 4 days until Christmas. I did free downloads. I promoted my freebie. 6 days of Christmas. Oh, what a nice little quote, right? So that's always fun too. I wish I didn't hide the lead with these cover graphics. I almost could have put them second, right? But yeah, so there's lots of time that could be really good for promotions. And when you suss those out ahead of time, you can actually plan ahead for them a lot better. Okay, I think that's all the questions that were asked here. So Julia also asked, will the toolkit be available for purchase if we don't join the Practice Academy? I don't think so, Julia. No. Sorry. Okay, any other questions? You're so welcome. Thanks for hanging out with me for an hour and a half on a Sunday, guys. You guys are amazing. And so next time, here's my plan. I knew that this was going to take some time to get through. By the way, it's 2:22 right now. 2:22. I knew that this was going to take some time to go through, so I thought we could create some graphics and captions and posts together next time. So what I will do is I will schedule up the next one and we will create some posts together. How does that sound? Just a quick reminder too, Tarot Practice Academy opens at 11:11 a.m. tomorrow morning. It will be closed on the 13th at 11:11 Eastern Time. And after that, it will be increasing to $49 per month. You're so welcome, Mikkel. The two things that we've added into the Tarot Practice Academy recently are the 48-hour feedback. So you can let me know what you're going through in your business. You can show me posts. You can get my feedback on posts, anything, strategy for your business. And within 48 hours, weekdays, I will get back to you with that strategy feedback. We've also added a resource vault with over 25 current digital products. Most of them are for spiritual business owners, and they're, post graphics and mock-ups and lots of things like that to help you in your business to do things faster and easier. So if you guys have any other questions about the Tarot Practice Academy, now is a great time too. You're so welcome. Otherwise, we'll jump off of here. You're so welcome. Alrighty, I don't see any more questions, so I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here. If you think of any questions later, let me know. I will be updating on Instagram all of the things about this 11/11 launch. Also, if you're curious about how to deeply promote something, feel free to check out those posts and take a look at them, because I think that there's going to be 8 to 10 posts in this promotional cycle for me. So you can kind of see the different angles that I go at for it. You can see the social proof. You can kind of see all of the different types of graphics that I have for it. They'll all be going on through the 13th. And you can see how I have developed my promotional practice for a launch or limited time offer. By the way, people buy in limited time offers, and that's something that I was missing out on too when it came to selling my products in the past. We're humans, and we always kick the can down the road, right? Like, oh, I'll sign up later, I'll do it later, I'll, whatever. So when you give a special bonus, or when you give a specific time that the thing is available for, that actually that helps create that urgency for your clients, which they need in order to get the results that they want, because you have to think most people who are going to be signing up with you, they've been struggling with their problem for a while, sometimes 6 months, sometimes years, right? And so when you create that sense of urgency, it's helping them, because then they're finally able to say yes, and they do that. So, oh my goodness. I'll delete those, guys. Just ignore that. All right, guys. Have a great day, and I will see you guys soon.